Hey, Jennifer.
All right. I don't know. Miss Marguerite, she has signed in and she may be fixing herself some coffee. So we'll see her whenever oh, there she is. Oh, y'all are just so precious. I knew you.
Yes, I'd already signed in and I've got somewhere to go. So I
I
said, I'll
know
go and put on my lipstick.
Miss
So here
Marguerite.
I
Miss Marguerite's a busybody, y'all. She's always got something going on. I love it
am.
because
Yes.
as
Well,
we get older, we don't have as much to do. Like, what I mean is, you don't have to necessarily get up early. You don't have to get to work. You don't have, kids to make sure is up and get to school. Your life, it just changes as you get older. And so you kind of have to create your own schedule. And
yes.
sometimes older people decide not to do anything. And that's such a bad thing because their muscles start to atrophy, which is a fancy word for shrink and get weaker. And so that's one reason why seniors are more likely to fall. And so I applaud y'all for signing up to do something that helps keep you active. I applaud you for all the things that you do that keep you up and going and not quitting. Does that mean your body worked the same as it did when it was 30? No, our bodies aren't meant to last forever. God didn't make us that way. Our bodies change as we get older, and it's not that we can't do things, it's that sometimes we have to do things a little differently. So let's set ourselves up in a good way so that our muscles are strong, our bodies are able, we're supporting ourselves in a way that we're stable. Let me try to get my camera right, so y'all can see me very well. All right, so the first thing we do is always get our bodies nice and warmed up. Oh, thank God we have another week of beautiful weather. And I know that comes with pollen. So some of us are kind of stuffed up. We've struggled with allergies and sinus problems. And I hate that, but I'll take that and with the warm weather over cold weather. Oh, y'all, I do not like to be cold. But we're just warming up, opening and closing our hands, pumping our arms. I'm walking forwards and backwards. I don't really recommend backwards. I'm just trying to stay in the frame. I know there's nothing behind me for me to trip over. I see in my camera there's a chair back there, but my main motivation is to stay in camera view so that y'all can see me. But just warming up by walking around, opening and closing my hands, and just getting that body nice and warmed up. Got my water nearby so I can stay hydrated. That's another thing when it's warm outside, especially in the summer when it's hot. I mean, oven hot. When it's so hot outside, that's when it's even more important to stay hydrated. And it's just easy to carry around that bottle with me everywhere I go. All right, so let's start with our nice stable stance. We have our feet about shoulder width apart, weights on both legs. We have a nice posture. So it's like a string that pulls up and down at the same time. Our shoulders are relaxed. We have our head up. I mean, we could carry a stack of books on our head. We have such good posture. And we breathe in. Get you a few nice, good breaths. Breathe in. You can breathe in through your nose or your mouth. And when you exhale, exhale through pursed lips. It slows down that breath, completely emptying your lungs. And so that's part of our diaphragmatic breathing that we attempt to do throughout the day, but especially through Tai Chi. Slowing down and breathing. We do warm-up stretches from our head to not our head to our toes, really from our neck to our ankles, our major joints, and we follow our principles of movement control, which is slow, smooth, continuous, body structure, which is that upright posture, that good posture, and we practice weight transference. So let's start with our neck. We bring our hands up, palms down, towards our chin and chest, push away from our body, and follow those hands all the way down, chin towards our chest. Come back up. Follow those hands. In terms of breathing, I like to inhale as I bring those hands up and exhale whenever I'm ready. It typically takes twice as long to exhale as it did to inhale. Our other neck exercise starts that same way. We drop one to our hip and then we follow this hand as we look towards that shoulder, coming back to front, switch our hands, and follow that hand to the other shoulder. Back to front, switch, side to side. Oh, my neck gets stiff. My daughter was in a dance competition this past weekend in Jacksonville, and I tell you what, sitting in that chair, stiff necked, watching those people dance on stage, it really put a hurting on my body. So I have been spending a lot of time stretching yesterday and this morning. And this one right here just never gets old, side to side. And I'll tell you one way to make this movement more. So if you notice, my body stays forward facing. So I'm only moving my head side to side. If I were to move my body, then that becomes a a spinal stretch. And so that's not what I'm going for here. We'll do our spinal stretch in a minute. This one's for our neck. That's why we only move our head. And now you don't have to go as far as you can go. But the more you do this exercise, the more flexible and mobile your neck will become. So you don't have to wait till Tai Chi class to do this exercise, simply looking over that shoulder, even without my hands. The hands, though, become a guide. So I can watch that just like a mirror. And this hand down here by my hip, it's not just down there doing nothing. It's engaged. I'm holding my hand. And then as I go to that side, I can actually take this hand and pull that shoulder back a little bit. And when you do that, you'll feel your chest opening up, and you'll probably feel some stretch in your back, in between your shoulder blades. So that's a way to make that even more. Do you have to do it that way? Absolutely not. I just give you some options on how to make that movement more. Stretching our neck, but also stretching a few other places too. Just like that. Very good. Now let's go to our shoulders. Roll the shoulders forward. And back. That feels like a little massage. Ooh, I could stay here all day long doing this. Roll shoulders forward and back. The circle is supposed to be really small. Your hands are to your side, and you're thinking about the size of a quarter. But my quarter is really big. My quarter is more like a $50 because it just feels so good. All right, and then our next shoulder exercise, we bring our hands up, palms up, and we push down in front of us. Inhale as we come up, and exhale as we push those hands down. Keeping that good posture. Nice soft bend in our knees, so we're not locking our knees. Let's do one more. So I knew right there that we were getting ready to go to our spinal exercise, but don't get in a hurry as you go from movement to movement. Completely finish a movement before you come and start the next. And so our next is for our spine, and it involves holding our ball just like this, hands facing each other. My shoulders are relaxed, so I'm not holding it up here. My shoulders are relaxed. I'm holding my ball right like this. All right, so I'm going to separate my hands. The hand on top of my ball is going to push down towards the ground. The other is going to come up and push up towards the ceiling at the same time. Feeling that nice stretch in my spine. Come back to center and switch. Feels so good to stretch that spine. Give your spine a little breathing room. You know, as we get older, we settle like an old house. Our spine just settles into itself. That's why we get shorter as we get older. And I don't mind to be shorter. I just try to keep wider in check. But, you know, you hear about degenerative discs and, you know, different things people have go on with their backs. So we're just stretching those muscles. And when we have strong, flexible, mobile muscles that surround all of our joints, then our joints are supported and we can have less pain because of it. That's why this program helps with pain from arthritis. So let's take our ball and go take it side to side. So here's that torso movement I was talking about before. This time my legs are staying forward and my torso is moving. The ball's just going along for the ride. Nice horizontal stretch, side to side. I'm just breathing as I go side to side. Come back to center. Now let's start with our lower body, keeping in mind that these are our more complicated moves because they involve our weight-bearing joints, our hips, knees, and ankles. And that can be a little bit difficult for us because some of us have weak muscles and don't have good balance. So this is why we want to have a chair nearby. I'm not going to put my chair up, but if you need a chair, put it out so you can hold on to. You can skip the hand movement. I like to have this table right here. It's very stable. It's not going anywhere. And then I have this wall, this whole wall that's probably closest to me if I lose my balance a little bit and need to grab onto something or rely on something to keep me from falling. But that's something to keep in mind is when we start shifting weight or transferring weight from one leg to the other, we want to keep our bodies upright. We don't want to lean into the weight shift. When I shift left, I don't want to lean left because then that takes me towards falling and that goes against what we're trying to do. So keep in mind that good posture. When you shift the weight, your body should stay the same. All right, so let's shift our weight to one leg. We're going to put our heel out forward and our hands are back. We pause in the middle and then we put the toe back hands forward. And you see the toe is back at an angle like a kickstand. Come back to the center. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see a side view. Shift the weight, heel forward, hands back. Pause in the middle and toe back hands forward. Come back to center. Go forward, hands back. Pause, toe back hands forward. Let's do one more where that stable leg starts screaming at us. Pause and back. I'm going to return to the front, shifting weight to that other leg. Heel forward, hands back. Pause, toe, hands, toe back, hands forward. Sorry, I said the wrong words. Continue to breathe. And y'all know I usually say that when I've caught myself holding my breath. But that's body awareness, and that's something Tai Chi teaches us. All right, there we go. Now for our other hip warm-up stretch, we stack our hands like this. We're going to shift our weight to one foot, and we're going to keeping that body upright. Out. Our hands.
Hello.
Tap and back. Change hands. Shift. Tap.
Yeah.
And back. Switch hands. Shift. Tap. Bring it back. Shift. Tap. Bring it back.
Yeah, that's dwindled down now. It's probably about.
Bring it back.
About 40, but I really going through the 90, you know.
Let me see. Is that Miss Sylvia?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. All right. So something said, I want to say there is whenever we shift the weight, keeping our bodies upright, that's a scary moment when we think about lifting that foot and tapping it out. So let's just say that you are kind of weary of that. You're afraid you're going to fall. So you say, I really don't want to do that. So here's what you can do. Shift the weight, but don't lift the foot. Shift the weight, but don't lift the foot. So there's no weight on this foot. Picking it up and tapping it out, that's next level. That's our goal, to be able to do that. But if you're not able to do that, it's okay. Shift the weight is what's going to get your muscles stronger so that you're able one day to pick and tap that foot out. Another option is to hold your chair, shift the weight, and tap out. So you have that chair to rely on, and you can skip the hand movement. So that gives you some options as you work through these movements that are kind of scary if your balance is off a little bit. Nothing to be ashamed of, especially if you've made the decision to work on getting stronger. Okay, so those two are for our hips. Now for our knees. We make a loose fist like this. We never squeeze our hands whenever we make a fist.
It's down cover street.
The reason we don't squeeze our hands is, imagine if you have arthritis in your hands and your hands hurt. You know, there are days I know when the weather changes, my hands just ache. So squeezing our hands does us no good. Make that loose fist, almost like you're holding an egg and you don't want to break it. Okay, so we have that loose fist. I like mine down here by my hips, but you can just as easy have it up here by your waist. It's just wherever you feel most comfortable. We're going to shift our weight to one leg, shift, lift, tap and punch. Remember, you can skip these hand movements. Just do the leg ones, holding on to a chair if you feel unsafe. Shift the weight, lift, tap and punch, bring it back, shift, lift, tap and punch, bring it back, shift.
Probably when we start to do.
Tap and punch, bring it back, shift, lift, tap and punch. We're just going side to side, shift, lift, tap and punch. Very good. Don't forget to breathe.
The one that's already getting me is, we go to the church and hand them out down there, and hand them out down to seniors.
All right. Now we're going to step forward. Shift, step.
I talked to Cindy, and she agreed to carry them down there. You know,
bring it back.
Carry them down there, and just down there instead of handing them out at the church.
All right. So we're going to shift, step, heel, toe, shift and punch, bring it back, side by side. Shift, take your time, step, heel, toe, shift and punch, bring it back, side to side. Shift, step, shift and punch. Again, your body stays upright. You keep your back foot flat on the floor. You don't have to give all your weight to that front foot. Very good. Now for our ankles. Shift the weight. Now heel, toe, heel, toe, heel, toe. Bring that foot back. Shift, heel, toe, heel, toe. Excuse me, heel, toe. Bring it back. Shift, big toe, little toe, big toe, little toe. So side to side, working on the flexibility of that ankle joint. Little toe, big toe. I feel like we take our ankles for granted. I think because they're far from our eyes and they're just small comparison to our hips and knees. But we want those muscles to be strong too. Give yourself a little shake. That's all of our warm-up stretches, movements. We're going to go through those just like we've been doing. 1 or 2 per thing per movement. And we're going to do it in silence, because when we do it in silence, we get to experience one of the principles of Tai Chi called Jing, Jing, which is mental quietness. That lends itself to the way Tai Chi helps reduce stress, anxiety. And so I like for y'all to experience it. So just follow me. Here we go.
But we're gonna have to have somebody that's in charge anyway, and she might want that head top.
Jennifer.
Sam.
Oh, okay.
So those are our warm-ups done quietly. So you probably thought that something happened to the audio because I wasn't talking. But that, okay, one of my classes, my Tai Chi classes, they're in the 3rd 16-week series. We don't talk through our warm-ups every single week. So whereas some of you are learning, you've not done it before, so it's important for me to say things like keep your body upright, or the specifics of the movement, stay within our frame, make your loose fist, keep your back foot flat on the floor. Those are learning opportunities for something you're not maybe real familiar with. But as we get more and more familiar with it, we'll have the opportunity to do it in a more quiet environment to really experience the whole of what Tai Chi can help and do for us. Hopefully, you know, you have a little bit of time between classes whenever you can do some Tai Chi on your own and practice some of these movements. All right, so it's time for us to do our series of movements. We have basic 6 that we've learned pretty well. We're probably a little raw with our waving hands and clouds, so we're going to spend more time with that today. But the first movement is commencement. Remember, it's a step forward where we shift right, step left, shift left, bring the right foot forward. The hands start to our sides. They face each other the whole time, where they come up and down towards our bodies and up. They come out away from us and they come back in, open and close. That's the second movement. I like to throw that one in. It makes us feel successful. So those two, the hand and then the feet, where we take that step forward. Let's put those together. So we bring our hands up. Nothing's happening with our feet. We bring those hands down. That's when we shift to the right foot.
Well, I'm not taking over that job.
Miss Sylvia, I keep putting you on mute because I hear somebody talking.
Trying to get it going.
Do what, honey? Or you gotta repeat it.
I said
My husband was saying something.
Yeah, I keep putting your thing on
Wait
mute.
now. Wait a minute. Now I had to get my voice back up. I'm still here, and I'm trying to do 2 things at one time in my. I don't have too good a look with that.
I hear you, girl. I'll be doing that all the time. I jokingly say that I have about 10 tabs open in my brain, just like on a computer. But I keep putting you on mute because I hear somebody talking in the background, and I didn't want it to disturb the other students.
Well, that was fine because he's talking to somebody from up there now about our senior. He's trying to help get our senior cell.
Tell him to go sit on the porch and talk.
No, they won't let us have our old one back.
Oh,
we're
okay.
gonna have to have a new one. So we'll manage. So, and I love that lady. It's pretty tall.
Oh.
I don't know what her name is, but I'd love to. What's her name?
Who?
I just saw a picture of somebody.
Oh, I don't know.
I don't know, but she's had lavender. She's got a lavender top on it, and she looks so sweet.
Is that Miss Marguerite? Is your shirt lavender, Marguerite?
It is pink.
Pink.
Yes.
You
Light
always
pink.
dress so nice.
Oh, thank you.
All
Yeah,
right.
that's the lady I'm talking about.
Okay, well, she got Miss Sylvia's complimenting you, Miss Marguerite.
Well, tell her thank you.
I hear you, baby. That's what makes this so good.
Y'all are precious. I just love y'all. All right. So let's talk about commencement. Remember, when we bring those hands up, nothing's happening with our feet. We're just holding our body weight on both legs. It's when we come down that we shift that weight to the right foot so that we can step forward with our left. And whenever back up. Bring our hands up. Down, shift right. Step left. Bring those hands in and up. Shift left as those hands go out. Bring the right foot forward and our hands come back. That's the end of commencement. Now we can do open and close. Open and close is a breath. So inhale and exhale. So the inhale and exhale is actually what opens and closes our hands. We're not really physically moving our hands like this. When we inhale, they open, and when we exhale, they close. So inhale and exhale, open and close is a breath. All right, let's put it together and commence. Up, down, shift weight, step, in, up, shift as they go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. Commencement and open and close. And again. Open and close. So remember, that is in mirror image. When I turn around, you can follow me, maybe a little easier for some of you, and commence. Up, down, shift right. Step left, hands come in and up. Shift left as they go out, right foot forward, hands come back, open and close. One more time without the talking. First two movements, commence. Remember, as we do our movements, we keep our principles in mind. So we do slow, smooth, continuous for as far as our movement goes. There's another one I don't talk about a whole lot, and it's called gentle resistance. Gentle resistance is if you were moving through water, moving through heavier air, because we're pushing against, just like we were in water. As if we had an accordion and we were pulling the accordion and pushing the accordion. That's a principle called gentle resistance. Whenever we do weight transfer in these movements, remember, we keep that upright posture. We don't lean into the movement. Shift the weight. When we step, typically we empty step, or we place our foot and don't immediately give it weight, then give it weight. Right, our foot comes forward and we adjust the weight. So we're always thinking about principles anytime we're moving in Tai Chi, and that's how we get the most benefits. So again, commence and open and close. Here we go. Commence. Our next move is single whip. So Tai Chi is balanced. And by saying that, I mean, we do things right and we do things to the left. So it's not just part of our bodies that are getting the movement experience. It's both sides of our body. But the first time that we do single whip, it is to the right. So we're coming from open and close, so our hands are facing each other. We're going to shift left. We're going to step out right, and it's at an angle, about a 45-degree angle. After we step, we adjust the weight to where we have weight on both legs. We push our hands out, facing each other, then turn them away, and separate those hands while our head and eyes follow that left hand. So both of my hands moved out in that single whip movement. I can feel a stretch in my shoulders. I can feel my chest open up. Because my head is moving and looking towards that hand, I feel a nice stretch in my neck, which is all similar to some of the movements we did in our warm-up. So I go out, turn, separate, following that left hand. Then I shift the weight to my left foot, bring my right foot back and my hands down. That's our single whip. Coming from here, open and close. Let's do it again. Shift left, step right, push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot back, hands down. And that sets us up for waving hands and clouds. We have a waving hands and clouds next, but let's go ahead and practice our other single whip. It's just done the opposite way. So we shift left, we shift right, we step left, push, turn, separate, this time following the right hand. So those are our two single whips. So let's do them both, one after the other. First one to the right, shift left, step right, push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Remember, we follow the hand opposite of the foot that we stepped out with. That's a general rule, and that helps you remember. Shift here. Our left, shift right, step left, push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Right hand. And shift right, bring that left foot back. Those are our single whips. I'm going to turn around and we're going to do it turned around. We're going to single whip to the right and then we're going to single whip to the left. All right, here we go. Left, step right, push, turn, separate, following that left hand. Shift left, bring that right foot back, hands down. Now to the left, coming from open and close. We shift right, step left, push, turn, separate, following that right hand. Shift right, bring that left foot back, hands down. Those are the movements that set us up for our waving hands and clouds. Now, Miss Arlene, you may be thinking, I'm not used to bringing both of my hands down. I'm used to keeping one hand up. That's not wrong. That is right. They're both right. Why I say that is, if I'm here, I can leave that hand up, and then when I go to waving hands and clouds, it comes down and the other one comes up. So whether you bring it down at the end of the single whip, or whether you bring it down at the beginning of waving hands and clouds, it's coming down. It's just when you do it. Both are right. It's just where you feel most comfortable in the timing. Okay, so let's talk about waving hands and clouds. Waving hands and clouds is Tai Chi walking sideways. Tai Chi walking, I call it because of the weight transfer. Because, you know, I think about basketball practice. And whenever you have basketball practice, I mean, you get down here, squatted down, and you go like this. Now that's not Tai Chi of us, is it? Tai Chi version of that is shift, step. That made me dizzy. Shift, step, shift, step, shift, step, shift, step, shift, step. That's Tai Chi walking. Now he's going in that same direction. We're trying to move here, right? We're trying to move over here. We're moving. But that right there is not Tai Chi. Tai Chi is taking the time, transferring the weight. Okay? All right. So that's waving hands and clouds footwork. It's a step. Sorry, I got to do mirror image. It's a step right, shift, step left. Shift left, step right, shift right, step left. Shift left, step right, shift right, step left. 3 steps to the side, a step and a step, being, or a step and a follow step, being 1. So we do 3 of those. The hand work is very similar to when we have our ball and we're taking our ball here, right? We're going a torso movement side to side. That's what our top part of our bodies are doing. But except our hands are a little different. Whoops, I gotta do mirror image, sorry. I have a hand by my hip. I have my other hand cross body.
Thank you.
Cross body tells me the direction I'm going, right? Here. Cross body, here. Change hands. Now I'm ready to go cross body. Change hands, cross body. Change hands, cross body. Experience that movement just a little bit. This is the same movement we do both ways in waving hands and clouds. We start going to the right, we end going to the left, but it's the same hand movement side to side. Okay. The handwork follows the feet. So when I step right, I turn to the right. Shift, step left, switch hands, turn to the left. Shift, step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. That's the waving hands and clouds to the right. So I'm going to turn around and you can follow me, but just knowing this is what I'm doing with my hands here and here. Here. And my goal is to be as slow and smooth and continuous as possible as I go side to side. We're going to the right first. We're coming from that single whip here. We're ready to step right. Step right. Which hand? Turn to the right. Shift, step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. Last time. Shift, step, switch, turn. Now let's come to the middle for open and close. Now we're ready for single whip this way. Shift right, step left, push, turn, separate, following that right hand. Shift right, bring those hands down. Wave hands and clouds. Step left, switch, turn. Step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. Shift, step, switch, turn. To the middle for open and close. And close it out. That's our basic 6. All right, let's do it together with me facing forward. Remember, we go right first and then left, starting with commencement. Follow me and commence. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Shift, step, switch, turn. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Close it out. That's our basic 6. Any questions about any of those movements? Y'all are good. Y'all are advanced. Hold on. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We're in our 7th class. We're not even halfway through our classes. So we're going to be working on our advanced 6 movements. Meanwhile, we'll be reviewing our basic 6 too. But let's spend, let's see, just 5 minutes doing these movements over and over. We may have maybe be able to do it 2 or 3 times, and then we'll cool down. All right, so I'll do it forward facing, and then I'll turn around and do it backward facing. So this is mirror image when I'm facing you. And commence. Open, close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Y'all, Miss Sylvia accidentally exited. I got let her in. All right, single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. Close it out. All right, let me turn around and do the same moves. Remember, we go to the right and then we go to the left when we do our single whip and waving hands in clouds. From the top, we commence. Single whip. Open and close. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Open and close. And close it out. So keep in mind that close it out is just a respect to the movement. It's not an actual movement. It's just saying, hey, we're done, close it out. So all the while we're doing all of our Tai Chi moves, our hands face each other most of the time. And we have energy we're playing with. If you look at your hands right now, they may look a little bit splotchy. And that's because you have life inside your body. And that's just your energy from doing Tai Chi. And so out of respect for the movements that we do, we close it out. We have time to do it one more time, forward facing. Okay, here we go from the top. And commence. Whoops, I did the wrong leg. I'm sorry, y'all. Single whip. Waving hands in clouds. Single whip. Open and close. And close it out. So I challenge you this week to practice our basic six. Even if you just sit down and close your eyes and think about the basic six, but try to physically practice the basic six as well. We'll do more of that next week, but also we will start with our advanced six movement, which starts with brush knee, and brush knee looks like this. So we're going places. We're going from forward facing to left facing first, and we'll do some movements going to the left. We'll come back to center. Then we'll do some movement, the same movements going to the right, come back to center for our advanced six. They're called advanced six for a reason. So be patient with yourself as we learn. Just because we're moving on doesn't mean that we're experts of basic six. We still practice basic six. We know we have room to grow there. I just like to push you and introduce you to things. All right, we're giving ourselves a nice fist massage. Our legs work so hard for us, so we give ourselves that nice fist massage, breaking up lactic acid. Then we come and we gather tension, and then we let it go. As a reminder that we don't want to hold tension. Tension causes pain, and we don't like pain. Let it go. Catch yourself holding tension throughout the day and let go of that tension so you don't get a headache and a neck ache and a shoulder ache. Tense it up and release it. Know what it feels like to hold tension. Tense, relax. Big circle. One more. We make a fist with our right hand. Remember, it's a light, easy fist. We don't squeeze and hold our hands tight. That represents our strength. Our our right hand. Y'all know I'm not good with mirror image. With my right hand, I make a fist. With my left hand, I put my fingers all together. That represents our friendship. My thumb comes in, and that represents our humility. So we have strength, friendship, and humility, and we put those together. And in mutual respect, we say namaste. So I hope that you do spend some time with Tai Chi outside of class. The more that you spend time with Tai Chi, the more benefits that you're going to get from it. So we know that by doing Tai Chi helps strengthen our muscles, especially with the weight transference. So even if you spend your time transferring weight from one leg to the other, even if you're not doing hands in clouds or commencement, you're not doing the specific moves, but practicing those principles and the base of that movement, which is weight transfer, that's practicing Tai Chi. So don't worry if you're not doing commencement, open and close, single whip. Don't worry if you're not doing that. But practice the pieces and parts so that you get the benefits. Practice some of those warm-ups where you're looking over that neck, helping increase the flexibility and mobility of your neck, releasing some of that tension so you don't have headaches and neck aches. So to get the benefits, it's true with anything in life. To get the benefits, you have to put in the work. So as always, let me know if you have any questions, if you need my help in the meantime, in between classes, and I'll do what I can to help you. But if not, I'll see you next Tuesday, okay?
Tell Jennifer bye. Bye, Jennifer.
Bye, baby. It's good
Tell her
to
bye.
see y'all. Love y'all so much.
Okay.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.